So I'm here today in Helena, which if you're watching the last video, you might know that last place I was Seeley Lake, but I was getting cold and wet and just wasn't handling the day well. So I don't think I remembered to make a little update, but basically, since I had the luxury of having Kayla following along for the first part, just had her pick me up in Seeley, and because it was supposed to rain like that for another day and a half basically, just had her pick me up. We came back to Helena to wait it out rather than try to wait it out where we were, and now I'm heading back out for the second portion of my ride, trying to make it down to Jenny Lake in Grand Teton National Park. So hopefully, it's about 460 miles left. Hopefully it should take me about like 5 or 6 days. And hopefully everything will go well. Good thing about waiting here, the weather now looks fantastic. Like maybe a couple afternoon thunderstorms, but nothing like all day rain like what I was going through out in Seeley. It's funny how stark of a contrast the weather is today versus my last day on the bike. Like today, that's the only cloud. Not getting absolutely dumped on. I'm very grateful for that though, because riding out of Helena, it's a pretty hard day. I've done this ride quite a bit. Just kind of one of my not easy, but one of my day rides from the house. But there's a lot of climbing, a couple really big climbs right out of town. So I'm trying to make sure I really take it easy today. Something I didn't do well first couple days leaving Eureka. Once you get past Park Lake, the road up Lava Mountain is pretty rocky. I'm basically at the top for the day. I don't think I'll be getting any higher than I currently am. So now should be a nice little ride down to Basin. Hopefully I can get some dinner there. I don't know what the restaurant situation's like. Yeah, Lava Mountain, it's a rough trail. There were some spots I walked for sure. So I don't know what to do right now. These cows don't seem to be in any rush to move. They're directly in my way. Quite a traffic jam. Hey guys, watch out cows. Oh, thank you. I wasn't sure if they'd be kind enough. Thank you, cows. Just gonna sneak right on by. Oh, okie doke. I feel like a lot of times people don't realize how sketchy cows can be, so I'm glad those ones complied. Last night, made it to a campground, so I decided to stop here so I didn't make it all the way to Butte, because I think it's basically just downhill to Butte from here. This is called Lowland Campground. It's a pretty nice spot. If you stay there, make sure you bring water, or fill up with water first, because there's no water spout there. And other than that, it's nice enough. It's $5 a night, and it has bathrooms, picnic tables, stuff like that. Didn't seem too busy either, but yeah, now I'm making it down into Butte, gonna have breakfast and continue on, see how far I can go today. I have just over 400 miles left total before Jenny Lake. Made it to Butte. You actually come around the Butte that it's named for, and there's a buttload of fireworks up here right now. Tonight's July 3rd and they're doing a big fireworks display, but holy crap, that's a lot. Heading out of Butte. There's a good bit of paved riding, but gonna be climbing up into those mountains back there. Doesn't look like it should be too hard of a climb. Good time to have a reminder to stop and look behind you every once in a while, because sometimes the view behind you is really good. I just had to wait out a thunderstorm, probably about half an hour. That's pretty typical in the mountains in the summer. I mean, have a thunderstorm blow in. This one had thunder, lightning, even hailed on me a bit. I just got under my tarp and sat out for a little bit, but back on the move now, halfway up. Last big climb of the day. I'm gonna be looking for a campsite after that. Hopefully it'll dry out by then. Turns out Fleecer Ridge really is crazy. I cannot imagine riding down this. It's hard to tell how steep it is on the GoPro, but I cannot imagine riding down that on my gravel bike. Also, especially with the conditions I'm in, like my tires are just holding mud, so even just walking the bike down, I couldn't even brake. Wheel would just slide. Yeah, this is insane. It's like Black Diamond Bike Park Trail. So let's ride down it with our 60-pound bike packing bike. Made it to a campground last night. About 80 miles in. It's the first campground off the Pioneer Scenic Byway that you go through, but it's an alright spot. It only has 3 real campsites that are all taken, but it has all this back area. I just camped back here and didn't have an issue with that last night. And it's always nice to be at a campground because having an actual bathroom and stuff's convenient. This one doesn't have running water, but as you can see, the Wise River runs right behind it, so I think that works all right. And this is my little campsite. It's nice and compact, which is handy on days whenever there's not a super good spot. Just a little bivy sack and a tree to hang my gear. You get a really nice view on this paved climb out of the Pioneers. Been a whole lot of this today. Farmland, flattish. Getting in the mountains though. I'm here in Lima. Made it last night at the expense of my body probably. My knees were not feeling good, but it's a decent town to stop in. It's got some restaurants, it's got a gas station. I actually stayed in a motel last night, lived a little nice little luxury night rather than sleeping in the bivy sack. It's nice to be able to take a shower and sleep on a real bed, sleep in, take a long time. I'm gonna have a few much shorter days now after going way too long yesterday in particular. So have a couple like 50-60 mile days and I think about 70 miles to finish off. And yeah, ate a ton of breakfast, so I'm loaded up for the day and gonna be a lot more farmland. Just had a little rainstorm pass over me, which isn't the best, but it's not the biggest deal. But now I have a bigger problem. This mud gets sticky when it's wet. I'm gonna fully clog up my rear wheel soon, so I gotta figure out. I might just have to walk for a while, I'm not sure. I hope it dries out fast.
So I didn't make an update at the end of the day yesterday. I was dying from allergies. I was originally planning on camping. There's Upper Lake Campground up here by the Red Rock Lakes. But just a couple miles before that, you pass the Red Hawk Lodge here, Red Hawk Lodge. So I decided to stay here last night, and I was glad because it ended up raining some, and then the mosquitoes here are insane. So I was glad to stay in the lodge last night, and super nice people, and they charge $50 for one person or $75 for two. So it's not too expensive, and fed me dinner and breakfast, so I can't complain. They do have historically done a lot of outfitting and stuff, so they have a bunch of horses here and a mule. And yeah, it's a nice little spot, and good to have a short day yesterday, and can have another short day today. So just gonna go down to Warm River Campground in Idaho, but this should be my last morning in Montana. I don't know if it'll be loud enough to be picked up by the GoPro. You can hear some elk bugling up in the woods up there. That right there is Red Rock Pass. I am now in Idaho. I've biked through Montana, minus the part that I skipped, but honestly, still feels pretty good. You'd almost forget you've been in the mountains for the past week or so. Coming through the Caribou Targhee National Forest. You'd almost forget you've been in the mountains for the past few days, or weeks, depending on how far you've been going. This road surface is the worst though. It's this like super soft, super loose, gravelly stuff. And I've been on it for probably almost 10 miles so far. I think there's about 10 more to go. I really hope the road surface changes, but it's like dragging an anchor behind you. It is the worst. After 15 miles, I'm finally off this stupid moon dust. It's crazy how much it slows you down and how much harder it makes it. I was able to shift up like 4 gears the second I got off of that stuff. And it's just like regular gravel road-ish kind of stuff now. So it's still not even the best surface, but it's so much better than that moon dust. Oh, so glad to be off that. First glimpse of the Tetons back there. You can just see the Grand over on the right. I'm really stinking close. Starting off the last day, camped at Warm River Campground yesterday, and I think it's just paved over a pass all the way into the finish now. So I have about 70 miles to go, and hoping to be there by the early afternoon. You can see my goal for the day looming in the distance there. Tetons just peeking up over the valley. Tetons keep growing in the background. Also, the road is dirt through here, which is good. I thought it was pavement all the way over the pass here, so I prefer riding on dirt, so I'm glad to be back on dirt instead of pavement. Goodbye, Idaho. Made it into Wyoming. Made it up and over the pass, coming into the Tetons. Beautiful lake up here. It's called Grassy Lake. Be a nice spot to sit.
osprey soaring right above me. Getting harassed by some little birds. Did not expect to get stuck behind road work on the dirt roads up here on this trip. I made it. I'm done. Have an awesome view riding into the park the whole time coming into Coulter Bay. But now I'm really hungry. I'm gonna go eat some food at the restaurant. Can't believe I made it.